Hello friends, Mali Panpajith here, CEO of the SOAR Community Network and co-founder of the SOAR Community Nebula. We are interviewing 1,000 champions of change and community builders this year. That is our goal. And today I'm delighted to bring to you Unnatti Jain. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Mali. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor.
It's an honor to spend time with you. So please reintroduce yourself to our community and let us know currently the work that you're doing in the world.
So my name is Unnatti Jain. It's an Indian name. Unnatti means progress. I come from India, based in the United States. I am currently doing my PhD in leadership and change, typically studying teenagers. And my topic is integrating Gen Z, which is the latest generation born after 1995, into the workplace. That's what I'm studying. I'm in the final year of dissertation. I should be done hopefully by next year. I work with parents and with organizations and with teenagers and facilitate conversations on how they can understand this generation better, how teenagers can voice their opinions, and how parents need to understand where these people are coming from. So it's basic facilitation between three of these communities.
We're going to get into how you came about choosing this as the line of study and work that you want to pursue. But before we get there, I'd like for you to talk now about your personal journey a little bit. And the question that I have for you is, when in your life have you experienced additional love, compassion, empathy, kindness from someone that may not even be really close to you, someone who has helped to open up your eyes, someone who has helped to shape you into the human being that you are today?
I think life shapes you into the human being that you are today, right? And like the saying goes, when life throws lemons at you, make a lemonade. So my personal journey, just to share with you, and I have a lot of people who've actually shaped me into who I am today. So I don't think the credit goes to just one person. I think people that I've met along the way at different steps in my journey are responsible for who I am today. 8 years ago, me and my ex-husband decided to part ways, and I was left with a child who was at that point in time about 7 years old. And that's what really started my journey. He's a great dad, no worries on that, but he doesn't live in the city. He lives in another city. He lives in Miami. So even though he was not physically, because he was not physically present, I had to be the one responsible for this child. And as Mahatma Gandhi says, as a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world changes around him. And that's the time I started to look within myself. My purpose came forth after days and days and nights of spending time alone, trying to figure out, what do I want to do next? How am I going to find a purpose, give this boy a strong life, make him into a strong adult? And slowly but surely, I started making myself strong. I became a yoga instructor. I became a meditation instructor. I started spending a lot of time with my child, and I figured that I'm actually doing a very good job. And sometimes you kind of start doubting yourself. So I had those moments along the way, and that's where I met the people. There was my father is an extremely important part of my life. He was one responsible to make me who I am. Ritu Devan, she's a friend, a confidant. She's been with me for the past 30 years. She's another change agent who was with me through thick and thin, and made me into who I am. Claudia Kobler came into my life a few years ago and is responsible to help me through this journey. So these are a few people. And as I was going through, I realized that my child had a lot of emotional blockages, partly because of hormones, partly because of what he'd gone through. That gave me a chance to understand him better, to take him through the journey of helping him grow, helping him voice his anger, voice his thoughts, and talk about them. And once I started doing that, I realized along the way, I had a lot of teenagers who came into my house and they'd ask me for advice, and I'd give it to them, and they'd go back and come back the next day and say, oh, it worked. So, and I started enjoying it. And as as the years move by, I realized this is what my passion is. My passion is to mentor this generation, help them grow into young, strong adults. So to help them further mentor them and help parents and facilitate conversations with parents and organizations, I need to take a deep dive. And that's when I decided to do a PhD 3 years ago. I needed to be amongst them. So those were the reasons. Just a personal story.
3 years ago. Wow. One more year, hopefully, right?
Hopefully. With a PhD, you don't put a target. You just baby steps.
You can't put that much pressure on yourself to do an amazing job.
Hoping one more year, yes.
So when you think of a community builder or a champion of change, what are some of the characteristics or attributes that you have seen consistently when you spend time with these folks? Because you spend a lot of time with change agents, what are some of the overarching themes that you've witnessed with these souls?
About this generation?
I would say that let's talk about this generation. Yeah, since that's
some of the attributes that I have learned about this generation. Now we're going into statistics, right?
Okay.
So, and I think that these are the things that I bring about in front of parents, because these are the things that should make every parent sleep at night. So 70 billion people are coming of age as of 2019. They're going to be in the workforce this coming year. 95% of them say they want personal relationships. Contrary to the belief that all parents have that these kids cannot stay without the internet. So I urge every parent, these guys are looking for relationships. So go ahead, talk to them. Don't presume that they don't want to get off their phone. Sit with them, they're willing to talk to you. 91% of Gen Zs say that they will work for a company that's technically savvy. What does that mean? That means that parents can again sleep at night, because technology, the one thing that we're all concerned about, that these guys are forever on the phone, this is the one that's going to make them grow and successful in their career. They are so driven that they want to write their own job descriptions, right? They're competitive. They don't follow traditional career paths. So I think, and I can speak for my culture, the culture that I come from is, it's very standard. My child will either be a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer. Why? Because these are the guys who succeed. These are the guys who make maximum money. So I would once again urge parents, it's all right. Let them do whatever they want to do. Let them go after their passion and they will win. So these are just some of the things that come out of research. And we all think that leaders are born. No, leaders are not born. Leaders are made. So, and who can make those leaders? Us, as parents, as leaders of organizations, as passionate people, as these are the people. I'm sorry, it's overflowing, but these are the people who are our tomorrow, and we are responsible for shaping them. So let their voices be heard. Let them talk.
No need to apologize. Let the passion seep through. This is your area of expertise, so you're sharing and you're helping to impart some knowledge on us as well. And it's really valuable. When you think of this generation and you think of some of the tough things that are out there in the world for them, and also for us, for all of us right now, what do you advise them on? How do you help them stay motivated and inspired? I mean, is there a particular motto or philosophy or a quote that you yourself use to center yourself, but also you mentor others, especially in that generation, to help them really shift when they're having a difficult time, or when they're scared, or when they're feeling isolated? What are some advice you have? What is some advice you have?
I mean, this is the advice that I have, which is what I tell my son, and it's been a long journey of teaching my son how to meditate, is go within. There are lots of apps out there. So I urge all teenagers to go into the app world, download these meditation apps, and take 3 minutes a night, 3 minutes in the morning, just whenever you're going through that emotional upheaval, where you're not able to understand what's going on around you, or you're overwhelmed. Just switch on that app, plug your ears. You're plugging your ears anyways. So take that app and meditate for 3 minutes. It took me a long time to get my son to doing it, uh, but he's doing it now, and he sleeps through the night. So it has helped him. And what I urge parents to do is, don't worry about what your children are doing. Worry about that they're watching you each time. So the only way to get your child to do something is by doing it yourself.
Mm.
So that's what I tell every parent and every teenager: meditate, go within yourself, believe in yourself. There's nothing in the world that you can't achieve. I tell myself every morning, there's nothing in the world that I can't achieve if I believe in myself and if I put my mind to it.
Mm. Wow. Well, then you think about these amazing causes that are out there that exist, or movements that you might be following or engaging in. Can you share how you're using your talents, your gifts, your knowledge, all that you're learning to advance these causes or missions forward? And are there any organizations you'd like to highlight or feature?
So as of now, I'm conducting workshops. I'm doing it all voluntary and in nonprofit organizations. I just did one recently about a week ago for a community called Sewa. It's a youth community where I facilitate conversations between teens and parents. I put teenagers, so we all have our answers. I'm not here to tell you how to raise your child, because there's nobody who knows that better than you. But what I'm here for is to facilitate conversations amongst parents, which is what I did. The workshop was a great success. We came up with great strategies around how to handle teenagers. Then we also put the teenagers on the stage. The parents had the option to ask these teenagers some difficult questions. And because it was not their parents, because I made sure that their parents were not in the room, except my son was on stage. And me and him share a very close relationship. So that was fine. But other than that, every kid that was on the stage, their parents were not there. So that gave some direct answers to parents on how to handle these teenagers. And we came up with some brilliant strategies.
Mm. Really,
and there was the Fairfax County Public Schools was also there. So I'm hoping my next workshop will be with them. So we'll see.
That's great. I love that. I really think it's important, some of the stats that you shared. You know, we do make these assumptions about different generations, and then we stick to those stories, and then we keep repeating them, and all of a sudden it becomes the entire truth for the whole society. And it's really neat to see or to hear that these young, beautiful minds and souls and hearts, they want to connect as much as we've always wanted to connect, maybe even more. So it's really important to have these live events and workshops where they can look into each other's eyes, right? Yes. Instead of just saying, well, they only want the computer and the phone anyway, let's just keep them there.
No, it changes your perception to life. And I have to give it to the parents. The parents in the workshops are very open-minded. You know, and you have to come with an open mind, right? Otherwise, you're not going to be able to learn. And the children were they're very daring, and they gave all the answers. So yeah, it's quite an eye-opening experience. You come across different cultures, the way people manage their kids, and how they're willing to learn and share.
It's really neat. So how do you go about inspiring these young folks, and in terms of when they question themselves and their passion and their purpose? Like when they ask questions and when they say something like, I have a lot of passion, but what do I do with it in the workforce? Like, how do they all want to become entrepreneurs, for instance, right? Are they looking to find an organization that they can thrive in? And what are some of the thoughts that they're sharing with you?
I think partly from the PhD perspective, from my doctorate, of what the research that I've done, and partly from talking to these people, it's a 50-50 given. They want to be they're more of an entrepreneurial mindset for sure. It's about 60-40. I wouldn't say 50-50. It's about 60-40. But the one thing that they're very confident about is they will not work for an organization or do a business which does not get back to the community. So they're very socially conscious. Mm-hmm. And they want people to personally invest in them. So if they're going to work for an organization, the only way they're going to stick is if leadership invests in them, which is what drove me to study the topic, which is integration practices for this generation. And I am, my dissertation is around the integration practices, and I'm taking this a level above onboarding where I'm saying that connection is very important with these people. So I'm telling organization that you need to adopt this 4-point model. Part of it is connection and culture to engage these people. So that's from a PhD perspective. And from what I've heard from them, and I think they're still, what I deal with is 15 to 16-year-olds, and I think their brain cells haven't formed as yet. So they still don't know what they want to do, but they're leaning more towards entrepreneur.
Okay. And last question, what would a better world look like through your eyes?
Where every voice of every teenager is heard, and every parent and organization takes the time to drive the potential that these children have.
Wonderful. How can our community support you? What are 1 or 2 ways in which we can help advance you, your mission, your passion?
I think get more and more parents to see this video, this interview. Get them to, I'm in the process of developing a website, which I will share with you shortly. I write a lot of blogs. I think just, I would urge you to do something for parents and teenagers in your community network. And I'm happy to do workshops or connect them with people who can actually facilitate these conversations. So I'd urge you to build a community for parents and for teenagers, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Wonderful. I'm really, really proud to know you. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing and for the lives that you're impacting through conversation, through listening, through sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mali. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and following us as we journey to feature wonderful, incredible souls, just like you heard today. I'm so grateful that you are part of this initiative. I'm grateful to you, our followers, our members of the community. Please remember to nominate yourself. Please remember to nominate yourself as a change agent or someone in your community who's making a big difference. Visit us at nebula.soarcommunitynetwork.com. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you very soon.
Thank you.